Dropping camera. Okay. Hi, I'm Ray from RayHayden.com, and I just wanted to jump on and say a few things that happen when we start intermittent fasting. We get frustrated, especially as ladies. We get super annoyed, especially if we have a partner who's also intermittent fasting. A gentleman can always fast more because they carry more muscle mass. They also have testosterone only to be concerned about, which comes every 15 minutes. And lovely ladies' bodies have progesterone, testosterone that comes once a month, and estrogen. So we have a whole wide variety of things happening in our body. Our hormonal cycle was designed for reproduction, okay? So if we're not homing, if we're not providing a nice home for reproduction, we generally will have difficulty getting pregnant. As we age, everything's starting to slow down. Those eggs are getting less and less, and we only have so many eggs when we're born. So without getting into a whole hormonal topic, let's dive in and find some of the things that you can do to help you in your intermittent fasting. First off, ladies, you have to stop fasting like a man. So what that means is if somebody's doing OMAD in your family and he's doing remarkably well and you think, hey, I'm going to do that too because look at the results he's having. Or your friend, she's doing wonderful things and she's only doing 3 meals a day and then 1 meal a day and then back to 2 meals a day and she's all over the place and she's having amazing results. Again, don't copy her either. Here's the funky thing about women is if you've ever had a chat with women about their period cycle, does it come every 28 days? Does it come 30? Does it come 33? I haven't met a lot of women that all have the same cycle. Even when I worked with a lot of women on my staff, I didn't find that we all had the same cycle. We might have honed into that same range of when our period was happening, but we certainly didn't have the same 28, 33, or 35-day cycle. So again, stop comparing. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and stay in your own lane. I can't stress this enough because you're only going to get frustrated. And then when you get frustrated, you're not going to want to do this whole thing about intermittent fasting. So what I want you to think about is go into your kitchen. I know, right? It's like, what does that have to do with intermittent fasting? Okay, go into your kitchen and I want you to pull open your cupboards and I want you to toss out all of your plastics because your plastics have contents in them that are hormone disruptive. So if you're ingesting products that are being stored in those containers, it's gonna affect you. So you gotta ditch those. Even if you wanna have plastic on top and glass on the bottom, at least that's better. But honestly, stop reusing plastic containers that you get these little yogurts or whatever in, ditch them. They are harmful to us. There is a massive incidence of women with infertility issues. Look at the correlations. We didn't have as many infertility issues we have now, but our environment, our soils, everything is a challenge for us now. And again, come back to here. This was designed for reproduction. That's what a female does. She reproduces, okay? So that aside, we're dealing with the kitchen. I happen to be in mine right now. So we're dealing with the kitchen. Go ahead and clean that up. Look at your pots. Now, I had heavy metal poisoning several years ago. So that was a huge shocker to me. I had mercury in my mouth from when I was younger. They didn't know any better. They put mercury in. That mercury was leaching into my bloodstream. Nobody knew. Mercury poisoning is a slow death. I had a whole protocol to remove all of that. But here's what I also learned. I stay away from tuna. I stay away from fish that are big fish because big fish eat small fish. And as that accumulates time after time and they get older and older and older, more mercury, more contaminants. So I stay away from that. The other thing I did is I changed my pots and pans. I use LaCruit, I use cast iron, and I make sure that I have the right type of foods that I can work with. So a lot of people will be like, oh, I can't do cast iron because it's so hard to keep up. Honestly, people, cast iron is like an iron that you can also get iron from that. You put parchment paper in if you are worried about things sticking and put your olive oil or your avocado oil on top or coconut oil. Or you just make sure that every time you use your pan, You then clean it with water only, no soap required, and you grease it. It's porous, it's meant to take in oil. So if it's dry, your stuff is gonna burn that much more. Okay, so now we've got other things to look at in the kitchen. When we open up that fridge, how many things in your fridge have expiry dates that are either overdue or so far in the future that when you turn to look at the bottle, there's a whole bunch of things you can't pronounce on that bottle. So the amount of preservatives that go into things now to make things shelf stable so they can hang out in your fridge and be more of a chemical crap storm, it's not doing you any good. So I want you to go into your fridge, and then I want you to go into your cupboards, and I want you to get rid of anything that is containing a label that you can't pronounce the ingredients on the back. More often than not now, I am receiving my intolerance test back from the lab, and the list used to be one or two things like what they call E151, which might be a food coloring, or E175, so on and so forth. This list is growing and growing. I mean, the other day I had somebody with 20 intolerances to additives. This is unheard of. Our bodies are not producing the chemicals to offset the other chemicals, the hormones to offset the other hormones, the enzymes to offset the other enzymes. Hold on, I have a dog issue. Down. I have a rescue puppy right now, so sorry for that. Okay, so you have to really make sure that when you're going into the store, you shop the outside aisles. You get things that you can grow, you get things that can be harvested. You go to the protein aisles, which is meat or fish, and you get things that can be utilized there. Hold on again. I left some food on the counter and my little rescue dog is trying to hop up. Sorry about that. He has a ball now. Okay, so from there, I want you to really be discerning on whether or not it can be harvested, or it can be grown, or it can be fished or hunted. Please, 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 if you don't like what I'm saying, get off my channel. I will not support the vegan movement. I tried it. It did not work for me because it threw my hormones off and it messed up my thyroid like you would not believe. I cannot support a Beyond Meat burger that is produced in a lab when we were given the beautiful bounty right here on this earth to be able to survive. This is how nature works. It's a cycle. And when you want to listen to all these people who want to sit there and say, oh my gosh, there's not enough meat to go around, I'm going to go nuts, people. We cannot keep going down this same path of trying to pull in these foods that are not actually foods, they're products. So I need you to get rid of that. And again, if you don't like what I'm saying, then you're welcome to leave at any time. I am as blunt as can be when it comes to food because I want to make sure that I am eating what serves me. Okay, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to think on how much are you moving? Now, 80% of what you're carrying here has to do with your cortisol and has to do with your adrenal glands. So if you have a lot of stress in your life, then that's going to be a problem. You got to get that down. I'm a recovering workaholic, okay? I can tell you full stop how to work through that. So you can message me, www.mariehayden.com. I'm more than happy to chat through with some different ways you can combat your stress. Once you've done that, I want you to look at your movement. Now, I'm telling you right now that 80% of what you put in your body is the process, along with that hormonal balance and getting that stress, that cortisol down. You do not need to go run marathons. You do not need to be in the gym 3 to 4 hours a day. In fact, you don't even have to be at the gym 3 to 4 times a week if that's not your style. 20% exercise, 80%. Now, I don't like to throw percentages around, so please don't come at me and be like, wow, da 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 da. No, I'm just telling you that the majority of what's going on in your weight is what you're consuming and what you're not. If you're nutrient deprived, if you're not eating a well-rounded amount of foods from a bunch of different sources that give you the nutrients to upregulate your hormones, you're not going to go very fast in the way you want. You're going to have results maybe, like some people have results, and then the next thing you know, they plummet and they're in a plateau and nothing's happening. Okay? So again, We want to make sure we deal with our kitchen. We want to make sure that we deal with what's in our fridge. We want to make sure that we're getting nutrient-dense foods into our bodies. We're wanting to hunt them. We're wanting to forage them. Whatever it may be, they shouldn't be in a package with things that you cannot pronounce. Now, from that, I've already gone way over my time of what I was going to talk about anyways. I want you to make sure that you go and find some MCT oil. MCT oil is heaven sent. It has C8 and C10 in it if it's a proper amount of MCT oil. Taking what I call the lick of the spoon test and then gradually, incrementally increasing that up to a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon. Please do not go to a teaspoon right away. This is not a more is better type of what I would call a hack, okay? You take this first thing in the morning, you wait a while before you eat, and then you do it again at nighttime. And what this is going to do is it's going to help kick your body into saying, hey, ketones is what I need to live off of. But you can't go eat a bunch of high carbohydrate foods expecting your sugars in your liver to go and then just go ahead and take MCT oil. You've got to stay the course of cleaning up your diet, going into a lifestyle that is just long-term. So then it's not a diet. It is a lifestyle change. If you want more information on how you can see what foods serve you, I'd like you to reach out to me. I do a lab test, hair analysis. It's been serving me and my clients for probably 15, 20 years. I don't even know how long it's been, but they used to start off with just like 200 foods. We're up over 500 plus foods, beverages. I even have alcohols that come up on that now, plus the additives. It also includes environmental toxicities, nutrient deficiencies, hormones, and gut microbiome. It is an amazing, amazing resource. It's 200 pounds, and you can convert that in whichever country you're in. And what I can do is I can have that set up for you so that essentially you go to the back of your head and you take out 10 hairs. We get it put into a requisition, you pay your fee, I give you a code, that gets sent off, and usually about 2 to 3 weeks later, I give you your results. And that also includes the one-on-one with me that we can do on WhatsApp or Zoom or what have you. So again, I've covered a lot of things. I've zigged, I've zagged. That is me. That is Marie Hayden. I am a wealth of knowledge, but sometimes I have too much knowledge up in that head of mine. So I wish you an amazing day. I hope that I've enlightened you a little bit into some pitfalls that happen for us women. And I hope that you'll continue to join me. www.mariehayden.com. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and shoot me a comment or send me a message via my website. Thanks so much for joining me. And if you like what I'm saying and talking about, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Take care, everyone. Ciao for now.